You wake up an hour before your big presentation. You know what you need to do, but instead of practicing, you find yourself scrolling through your phone, reorganizing your desk, making a third cup of coffee you don't even want. Later, you'll tell yourself it's laziness. But here's the truth, it's not. What you're actually doing is protecting yourself from something far more terrifying than failure. You're self-sabotaging, and your brain thinks it's saving your life. Today, we're uncovering the real reason you stand in your own way, and why understanding this could change everything. Self-sabotage shows up everywhere. You procrastinate on the project that matters most. You pick fights with your partner right when things are going well. You skip the gym the day after committing to a new routine. You turn down opportunities before anyone can reject you. And every time you blame yourself for being lazy, unmotivated, or weak. But psychologists have discovered something fascinating. Self-sabotage isn't a character flaw. It's a protective mechanism. At its core, self-sabotage is rooted in fear, self-doubt, and deeply ingrained patterns of behavior. It's an unconscious attempt to avoid discomfort, rejection, or failure. And ironically, it often brings about the very outcomes we fear most. Let me explain how this works. Your brain has one primary job: keep you safe. Not happy, not successful, just safe. And to your brain, safety means familiarity. Even if your current situation is uncomfortable or unfulfilling, it's known. You've survived it before. You can survive it again. But success? Growth? Those are unpredictable. They come with new responsibilities, higher expectations, changed relationships. Your brain doesn't trust the unknown, so it creates roadblocks disguised as protection. This is why you sabotage yourself right before a breakthrough. Research shows that self-sabotage often stems from unconscious motivations, particularly the need for psychological homeostasis. We sabotage our progress to maintain a familiar state of being, even when that state is painful. Think about it this way. If you believe deep down that you're not worthy of success, actually achieving something challenges that belief. Your mind experiences what psychologists call cognitive dissonance, the mental discomfort of holding conflicting beliefs. To resolve this discomfort, your brain might push you to sabotage yourself, confirming your original belief. It's twisted, but it feels safer than changing your entire self-concept. Let's talk about the hidden drivers behind self-sabotage. First, there's fear of failure. This one seems obvious. Nobody wants to fail. But when the fear becomes overwhelming, your brain finds a solution. Don't try at all. If you procrastinate until it's too late, or you don't give your full effort, you can tell yourself the outcome doesn't reflect your true abilities. You failed because you didn't try, not because you're not capable. It's a painful but protective story. Then there's the less obvious one, fear of success. This surprises people, but it's incredibly common. Success brings visibility, responsibility, and expectations. It can trigger imposter syndrome. It might mean outgrowing relationships or environments that feel comfortable. Some people unconsciously recreate chaos or failure because that's what feels normal based on their early experiences. Studies show that individuals raised in dysfunctional environments often develop insecure attachment styles, which manifest as self-sabotaging behaviors in relationships and careers. Low self-esteem plays a massive role too. Research consistently shows that people with low self-esteem are more prone to self-sabotage. They have a pessimistic view of their abilities and potential outcomes. There's even a theory called self-verification theory that explains this. People prefer feedback consistent with their self-view, even when it's negative, because it provides predictability and control. If you believe you're not good enough, you'll unconsciously seek evidence to confirm that belief, even if it means undermining yourself. Perfectionism is another major trigger. It sounds productive, but perfectionism often leads to paralysis. If your standards are impossibly high, you'll avoid starting because you fear not meeting them. The irony is that perfectionism doesn't lead to perfect work. It leads to procrastination, avoidance, and incomplete projects. It's self-sabotage wrapped in the illusion of high standards. And then there's unresolved trauma. Past experiences, especially those involving rejection, betrayal, or criticism, shape how you see yourself and the world. Childhood experiences with frequent criticism or impossibly high expectations can create a persistent fear of failure that follows you into adulthood. These patterns become defense mechanisms. Your brain uses rationalization to justify self-sabotaging behaviors with seemingly logical explanations. You tell yourself you work better under pressure, when really you're avoiding the anxiety of starting early. So what does this actually look like in real life? Maybe you stay in relationships that reinforce feelings of unworthiness because they're familiar. Maybe you overcommit to everything, ensuring burnout and mediocre results. Maybe your inner voice is relentlessly critical, undermining your confidence before you even begin. Maybe you avoid opportunities entirely, preventing growth before it can happen. These aren't signs of laziness. They're signs that part of you is terrified, and it's trying to keep you safe in the only way it knows how. Here's the crucial part. Recognizing this pattern is the first step to changing it. Self-awareness is everything. Start noticing when you sabotage yourself. What were you about to do? What were you feeling right before? Often, you'll find fear underneath. Fear of being seen, fear of disappointing someone, fear of discovering your limits, fear of outgrowing your current identity. Once you see the pattern, you can start to challenge it. Ask yourself, is this fear based on current reality, or is it an old story I'm still telling myself? What would I do if I weren't afraid? What's the worst that could actually happen, and could I handle it? You can also practice self-compassion. When you catch yourself self-sabotaging, don't pile on more criticism. That just reinforces the unworthiness. Instead, acknowledge that your brain is trying to protect you. Thank it for trying to keep you safe, and gently remind it that you're ready to try something different. Setting smaller, realistic goals helps too. When goals feel overwhelming, avoidance kicks in. Break them down. Celebrate small progress. Build evidence that you're capable, one step at a time. And if these patterns feel deeply ingrained, working with a therapist, especially one trained in cognitive behavioral therapy, can be transformative. Remember, overcoming self-sabotage isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about recognizing that you are worthy of success, growth, and happiness, even when every fiber of your being tries to convince you otherwise. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're human, with a brain that's wired to protect you from danger, even when that danger is just the possibility of change. But you also have the power to rewire those patterns, to choose growth over safety, to prove to yourself that you can handle more than you think. The question isn't whether you're capable. The question is, are you ready to stop standing in your own way? If this resonated with you, take one small step today. Notice one pattern. Challenge one fear. Choose one kind thought about yourself. That's how change begins. And if you found this helpful, Subscribe for more psychology insights that help you understand yourself better. You deserve to stop fighting yourself and start supporting yourself instead.